evening, SRA Nation, and welcome to season number 15. Round number 1, we are back for the summer. We have got one heck of a season coming our way. All eyes will go to the gantry light. Green flag drops and we are racing. That's going to be a very, very good stop.
He's going to edge him.
We've got two generations of Ferraris going side by side.
Goes to the outside, very late break the outside.
What is going to happen?
What is happening?
Trying to hold on to it. Free abreast for a square.
Alexis looking racy.
He's gonna hold him tight. Oh my god.
And we're off and away for SRA.
Hello, chat, I guess is what the popular streamers say. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Division 2 SRA GT3 Team Series Season 16. I'm your host this week, and I suppose, I guess for the rest of the season, you're gonna have to get used to my face around here. I'm Anton Rushevich, and I'm joined, as always, by the very lusciously haired Donovan Colton in this profile picture. What's up, Donovan?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have the hair anymore.
Yeah, we were going to change our profile pictures too. We were together at Cota. Matter of fact, we are racing at Cota this week. We were together at Cota. We have a photo together, so we were going to, I guess, confuse the audience by changing our profile picture to be the same one. But it is, in fact, just the two of us. Anyway, we, as I mentioned, we are racing at Circuit of the Americas today. It is the second round of our 8-week season. It's actually 9 weeks because we are taking a break in the middle of the season, rather towards the end, between Suzuka and round 7, Brands Hatch, for American Thanksgiving. I guess while we're doing, notable dates, big shout out to SRA's one and only Douglas Mitchell. It is his birthday. Please put your birthday wishes in the chat, respectively, across YouTube and Twitch. I'm sure he would love to see that. Anyway, we are racing at Cota this week. It is round 2. It is a sunny race, and Austin, Texas is definitely known for some very, very warm weather. Donovan, I know that when we went to the 6 hours of Cota, it was not so sunny, at least for the first 2 hours. It was, in fact, safety car for about 2 hours, it seemed. I remember a few of us went to go get a change of clothes in the middle of the start of the race.
And then it started.
I know, it was like it was the worst timing. It was my first WEC race, and then they decided, you know what, let's just start it while Anton's gone, right?
Yeah.
I think the funniest part of that race was the fact that they had to use 2 different safety cars because the first one ran out of fuel.
Yep, yeah.
That was hilarious. Anyway, we don't have a safety car this week. We are, in fact, just, leading off with ACC's standard starting procedure. But we are racing at Cota this week. Going over to the track map, we have one of the, longest tracks in terms of, turn numbers. It's about 2.35 miles. It's got 20 corners. I like to say that, the Circuit of the Americas is just an AI-inspired Silverstone, but put in Texas. So it was made bigger because everything's bigger in Texas, right? You have the very famous, it almost looks like Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel between 3, 4, and 5, but, it's obviously in Texas, right? So it's not British corners. They're, in fact, American corners. Anyway, going over Sector 1, we have Turn 1. It's the very, very high hairpin. I believe this corner is actually almost over 100 feet in height, which in real life is quite a marvel to see. And Turn 2 is it's a quick corner. It's flat. You can't really make up much time there in terms of keeping it tight or going wide because, you're still going flat out. You're going to be, hugging the line anyway. Going to 3, 4, and 5, this track is known for the track limits. A lot of people do not enjoy the track limits at this track when it comes to qualifying and just racing in general. I will say it is a bit easier to race here, I believe, than qualify, just because the margins are so thin. But on the race fuel, it's a lot easier to keep the car within the limits. Going to 7, 8, and 9, another set of corners where it's super easy to invalidate, especially on the exit of 9. It's a very awkward uphill corner. Of course, this track course was designed for, I guess, Formula cars. That's why it's so... You see the Formula 1 cars going through the S's, like they don't care about getting those drive-throughs in ACC. If they were in ACC, let me tell you, they would all be going through the pits maybe every 2 laps, you know. But going into turn 11, hairpin leading onto the back straight. The straight is, you know, on the track map it looks quite long. It's actually not that long. A lot of the cars only get up to about 262, 261 kph, which cars like the Mustang don't actually, you know, they can't really take advantage of. But we do have a Lexus on the grid. The Lexus will be rapid there, will be mighty, but it is quite difficult to drive here. Going down into turn 12, very heavy braking zone. You want to brake at around the 140 meter mark into turn 12. Sharp corner. It's pretty easy to invalidate on exit there on the right side. Going to the slowest section of the track, it's a very large duality of speed and Circuit of the Americas between Sector 1 and Sector 3, which are seemingly right across from each other. If you actually walk across the bridge between turn 14 and 15, you can see the top of turn 1 and 2 when you're at the track. My favorite corner on the track, Donovan, you know what it is. It's Gravitron.
Yeah.
Triple
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
baby. It's pretty tough. It's you got to keep it, you know, tight, but also, you know, don't wash wide, don't scrub the tires. It's very easy to green the tires on that corner in the race, especially on the heavier fuel loads. Going to turn 19, it's also very difficult corner to keep on the track. The car on the track you can very easily invalidate on exit. And then turn 20, deceivingly difficult corner. It's quite slow. You think, hey, I could just, you know, keep it tight, but the car's brakes do tend to lock up here very commonly. I know in the Mustang it's quite difficult or quite easy to get wrong. And the Lexus, I imagine, is also pretty difficult to execute. But yeah, I mean, a lap of Cota, it's very quick, but also very slow in some corners. And when you get the lap done, it is pretty cracking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, super cool track, and it's difficult though in the Lexus, which is my you know, my car of choice, and so, you know, it could definitely be a challenging one.
All right, let's quickly go over the drivers, because that was a quite long track layout message. So.
Yeah, a lot of turns to go over. Yeah, so, you know, we are only one race into our season. We've got you know, Matthew Higgs with that great win from last week, and he also got the fastest lap, so that's that extra point. Amos Movo had gotten pole position, so that was his that extra point for there. And yeah, going down, we had Paulie Hartman, where he was a big story for getting that podium. Brian Anderson, Harold McDonald, Jason Allen, Philip Enos Mueller, Mason Moffitt, Mike Gino, Jacob Boosterski. Those are wrapping out our top 10 there. So yeah, going further into for the team series, Brian Anderson and Matthew Higgs both getting good positions. You know, Matthew Higgs winning the race, so that they've got a pretty commanding lead to start with. Jason Allen and Mike Gino also not bad, but then we got the silver duo of Sean Williams and Paulie Hartman. So that is pretty interesting to see there. You know, both silver drivers, both, you know, getting really good positions for the first race. So yeah, so that should be interesting to follow along here. Like I said, you know, beginning of the season, so, you know, not a you know, things can change pretty drastically quickly, but yeah, we'll see how things shape out from here.
Yeah, I mean, we still obviously have the drop race, so even after this race, the point standings will look quite similar from a you know, drop race perspective, because it's automatically factored in your worst result. So, for example, if Matt Higgs, for example, doesn't... I just said for example twice in a row. Jesus, I'm off my game. But if Matt Higgs does secure another win this week, it's not really going to show on the point standings as, you know, a commanding lead. But if he were to miss next race, then those points would get added on. Anyway, we are already on track with the Silvers. On board with last week's podium sitter, Paulie Hartman. And it looks like he's about to start his lap too, so it's kind of perfect timing, eh? You know, just getting everything sorted, getting the track map going, and yeah, I mean, Cota, it's a long track. It's a very arduous track, but the racing here, whoo, it's pretty good. I gotta tell you. You know, there's a lot of chances to go side by side. Sector 3 can become offensive opportunities can turn into defensive opportunities, or rather defensive, kind of like spontaneous defending to the car behind if you're racing 3 cars, for example. I mean, there's a lot to happen at Cota.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of my favorite races I've ever had was what was it, season 11. I was in D3 at the time, and I was in the Lexus battling a Porsche the entire race, and that race was supposed to be wet actually, and ended up being dry in D3 SRA fashion. But but yeah, it was a fantastic race. I mean, the one thing I really like about this track is how different cars kind of drive, and you know, those are kind of polar opposites. With you know, Lexus versus Porsche there, and so you know, that it's a really interesting track to drive in that regard, with how different all the you know, cars kind of take all these turns. There's a lot of different kind of turns.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously have the Sector 1 super fast, super, I guess, like, what's the meme? Bossa left, bossa right, you know, you're just going back and forth between the fast corners. But yeah, you're just, it's a lot of variability in terms of what this track has to offer. Sector 3, for example, very slow, you have to be very on it with your pedal inputs. Going through Gravitron here with Paulie Hartman, you got to be on the racing line. I mean, there's a tell there where you want to put the car, but sometimes, you know, going a little bit more narrow, closer to the curbs on the right, could be a little bit quicker. This corner is also very tricky, turn 19. If you get on the curb in the middle of the apex, some cars can take it, some cars can't. It's actually faster, so, but easier to invalidate. Paulie Hartman immediately goes to the top of the board at 205.7. Oh my!
Pretty good for a first lap.
I think that would put him third on the hot lap leaderboards in D2.
That would put him second. That would put him second on the hot lap. No, third. Yeah, third on the hot lap. Yeah, that's crazy.
Paulie he's back.
Crazy. Yeah, 2/10 faster than what he did in practice, and that's on the first lap.
That is ridiculous, Paulie. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's improving. He's 2/10 up through Sector 1 alone.
Yeah.
What is going on? This guy's silver? Hello?
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, listen, props to Paulie. I mean, he's been here since, what was it, season 2, I think he said last week. And, you know, getting that first podium in a long time. He did have a podium a while ago, back in, I think it was season 3, season 2. But
no, I think it was season 2. I think he's been here since season 1. I think he is an OG.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, that is impressive. I mean, we could stay on his car, but you know, he's still improving. I love this camera angle, by the way. The one I just switched to. This track does offer some pretty darn good camera angles. I do want to give some other drivers some love, because everyone deserves, you know, a shot on camera. Dick Zipburn Jr., fellow OBDA driver, currently sitting provisional P3, granted 1.4 seconds behind Paulie's insane banker lap. He is up 4/10, so if he does currently hold the purple Sector 1, Porsche seemingly flying through the corners there and the high speed. If he can continue putting some good times together, he can improve himself to P2, just ahead of Harold McDonald. But Harold McDonald just about even on his delta. He also has not invalidated, so that's something that's quite surprising. A lot of drivers obviously struggle at this track. D2 seemingly not struggling so much.
Don't call me out like that.
Oh,
this is a track where I'm like, it's pretty often where, you know, you get what, four push laps in qualifying, and it's pretty often I only actually get one timed lap because I went over track limits. You know, it's one of those tracks like you mentioned. You know, it's a little bit easier, in my opinion, at least, to keep track of the track limits during the race. But in quali, when you're really trying to push your you know, time, it's really tricky to keep it within the lines. They really sneak up on you.
A big improvement here for Dick Zipburn Jr., improving to P3 where he was before, but we see Ethan Marvin shooting up in the Lexus to a 206.3, still half a second behind Paulie's insane banker lap. I feel like we're going to be saying that all night. I don't know, Paul and his insane banker lap, right?
Yeah, I mean that was quite a banker lap. Still working on improving it. He is a little bit up on his delta right now. But it looks like a couple other drivers, like Riley Greer, he's up on his delta quite a bit. Coming up, in P9 for now. But yeah, he's almost 6/10 up on his delta. Coming up to the Gravitron, as you were mentioning.
The Gravitron.
Yeah.
Those lateral G's that you're pulling through there. Woo! Gravitron, yeah. Baby.
I imagine it's pretty good in the Ferrari too. I haven't driven it through there. I'm in the Lexus. It's a little painful, to be honest. It's a tricky one in the Lexus.
I imagine in the Ferrari, it's probably just like a bittersweet corner, because we know the Ferrari's got some very good initial turn-in. Riley Greer improves to P4, personal P4 ahead of Harold McDonald last week's silver winner, actually. So, no, that was Pauly. I apologize.
That was Pauly. Yeah.
Harold McDonald was quick in qualifying. He was P3 at the end of the Silverstone quali after the golds. But yeah, I imagine the Ferrari is it's a good on initial turn-in, but another tendency of the Ferrari is that the rear kind of doesn't turn as much as the front does. The front is very snappy, very obedient to wherever you want to turn the car, right? So yeah, I imagine the Ferraris, it's all right through there. Riley Greer still up on his time, about 2.5 tenths up after Sector 1 alone. I did work with Riley a little bit. He was messing around with some TC settings, but you know, a lot of the time, especially if you're in VR like Riley is, you don't really want to mess with buttons, especially if you don't know 100% where they are.
Yeah.
You might end up pressing something like turning off your car in the middle of the straight right here, and that would not go very well.
I feel like you'd really want to like spend a lot of time thinking out all your buttons on your wheel for that sort of thing, because you wouldn't be able to do what I do and have like a button box off to the side. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Harold McDonald here improving about 3 tenths, which would actually put him provisionally, I believe, right ahead of Ethan Marvin, who's currently in the pits. I think he's done his qualifying. And wow, already those 10 minutes that, you know, we were at the silver stuff, it's already gone.
Yeah, it goes by quick. But yeah, Harold McDonald up 4 tenths so far, coming into the last sector of the track.
Mercedes is
almost halfway through the last.
It's very good on exit of these corners. I imagine it can feel a bit like a boat throughout the slow speed, kind of just on the initial turn, but the brakes on the car are very, very strong. I do like the brakes. I think that you can really get the lap time out of them in these slow speed corners. Harold McDonald did lose a bit of time through the, I guess it was through Gravitron, but he does gain it back a good amount on the exit of the last corner. It's going to improve him a little bit, but not enough to even worry Dixon Byrne Jr. about that P3. Pauly Hartman did improve to 205.6. Not a big improvement, but he did improve. So that's your provisional silver pole. Could be provisional pole. I don't know. I mean, it's quite a big margin from P1 to P2 in silver. I mean, yeah, it is quick.
That looking at the hot lap, leaderboard, we have a 05.6 set by Thomas Olhausen, and we've got another 05.690 from Nico Suave, so only 2 thousandths faster. But that's in the hot lap leaderboard, where it's a little bit easier sometimes to set times there. I know some people can once quali hits, they perform really well under that pressure and could pull out a personal best, but I mean, that's usually not the rule. Most people tend to do better during the hot lap, leaderboard time.
Yeah, when the pressure's on, you gotta perform. Ponzo here is actually performing a little bit better than he would have imagined. He's currently sitting P12, but he's up about almost half a second, it seems, going to the line here. Loses a little bit on exit, but it's going to improve him quite a few spots. So he gets that last lap effort from P12 to P8, starting in the top 10 of the silver drivers for Ponzo Brigatoni of the singular elbow out team. And it looks like both cars' liveries are working this time. So that's definitely, what's the word? a sigh of relief, you know.
Yeah.
For me,
Those
because
two,
I did sink before the race again.
Yeah. Those two, Ponzo and Pat Cockcroft, are teammates there, and their times are pretty close. I know, you know, I mean, SRA times are usually really close, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a driver, you know, in between them. But yeah, it's starting real close on the grid together, though.
Absolutely. Yeah, one driver to look out for here is Thomas Olhausen. Again, beautiful camera angle. When you're going to see the cars on race trim, you're going to be able to see all of the cars just passing by. It's going to be pretty epic. I do want to get on board with Amos Mova here. So he's already, you know, I don't think he's on his qualifying lap. So both Thomas Olhausen and Amos Mova going out a bit later. I believe they're going to be on the same fuel loads or maybe slightly less. You don't really have that chance to get the extra lap here. There's no... The track is far too long for it, so there's no chance to get that extra lap. Yeah, Amos Mova about to cross the line here. We're going to stay on board with him. One of the quicker times on the hot lap leaderboard, the Ferrari. Pretty good here, I think, in race trim as opposed to quali trim. I think a lot of these cars would benefit more in the race just because of how much cooler it is. The track temp is about, give or take, 3-4 Celsius cooler. I think the air temperature is a little bit cooler. I do want to talk about that though. The air temperature, Amos Mova completely misses turn 1 on his first lap. And it's going to be lap invalidated. But hey, we got a few more chances, right? So Amos is really going to have to focus on getting the car slowed down for that corner if he wants to have any shot of fighting at the front.
Yeah, that's an important turn for sure, especially during the race. When there's a lot of cars around, you know, there could be a lot of carnage around that turn. It's as we saw in the F1 race.
Nico Hulkenberg.
yeah. but yeah, it's definitely a very interesting turn.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously a little bit. I think it's off camber, right? I guess, you know, you have the uphill braking. You gotta, you know, make sure you don't lock the brakes. The rears are very easily locked going to the corner. A couple of our goal drivers already setting times. Selena Boonstra already shooting up to P2. Nico Soleil right behind her. The Porsche is actually quite good this week. I think it's one of the stronger cars in a hot lap trim. The Porsche, I think, exceeds more of its expectations in a qualifying trim rather than a race trim. The rear tires just get really hot on a longer races. So fortunately, we are able to change tires, so that's not as big of a problem. But in longer races where you don't necessarily want to change tires all the time, it does get a little bit frustrating with the Porsche, just because of how much, you know, wheel spin there is out of corners. The TC not working up to standard. But that's a Kuno's problem. That's the problem with ACC. It's not necessarily the car's problem. It's just sometimes the game doesn't, you know, cooperate as well with cars and their TC settings.
And it also kind of closes you off to, you know, alternate pitting strategies, you know, as well. You know, cars that are better on their tires, you know, might be able to have a little bit more open of a pitting strategy and be able to pit earlier and, you know, go for an undercut. And, you know, that could be really beneficial. I've learned that in the past in the Lexus, you know, pitting before cars like the Porsche and being able to undercut them and then just being able to stay ahead of them just because of the straight, you know, and how, you know, so yeah, that's one problem definitely with the Porsche here, but it's definitely a quick car here in quali trim, that's for sure.
I believe it does hold the top LFM leaderboard time, so that's why it's bopped to the ground. Bop being the balance of performance of these cars week by week. We saw the Mustang yesterday in D1 kind of, you know, sweeping the podium, right? So it was a 1, 2, 3 in qualifying.
Subtle flex.
I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but like, you know, my teammate Omar Escorcia, for example, had a insane lap, and there you go, Jeff. I said, for example, that's another shot for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Nico Suave, by the way, he was up quite a substantial margin. You would have put him provisional P2, but he did lose a lot of time there in Sector 3.
Yeah.
He's got to find some time in Sector 2, though. He's currently 0.3 of a second behind Paule in that regard, so Paule really putting the foot down on this hot lap time with 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Thomas Olhausen as well, and validating this lap, but he is 0.2 up, so there is hope. Matt Higgs, our previous week's winner, showing up to P3, about 0.4 behind, almost 0.5 behind Paule Hartman. Kind of goes to show, you know, you got to be on it in qualifying here. It's there's not really much time to get a good lap in. And if you do get that good lap in, boy, it feels good, I gotta say. It's a very rewarding track.
Yeah, there's a lot of turns for it to go wrong, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the problems, is you could have, like, one sector just be absolute fire, and then, you know, the third sector just, you know, completely mess up, you know, one of the turns, you know, or Gravitron or something. For me, it always tends to happen towards, you know, the end of the track. That's definitely a difficult part. And then, yeah, Filipinas Mueller going up to P2. That's definitely a respectable time there.
Yeah, I mean, I tried the Nissan out a couple laps. It's a little bit tricky in Sector 1. Sometimes it feels like a tank going into the corners, but then, you know, the Nissan is a bit iffy on the brakes. If you can get the braking down in this car, it is an absolute rocket ship. But currently, Mueller is he's kind of even on his delta, a little bit up, a little bit down here and there. He's got to improve in Sector 2 here, so if he gets the braking right onto the back straight where the Nissan is quite strong, he should gain a good amount of time. He does get the apex right, gains about 0.5 going to the back straight. The Godzilla roaring past the camera here on the TV set 1 ACC preset. And yeah, Sector 2 does end right here, but if you get the braking right, Sector 3 is going to be a lot faster. So it gets the braking done, hits the apex on the right side, doesn't invalidate, still even on his delta. So I think he's going to cross the line in time for another lap. So he's got at least one more chance to dethrone Paule's absolutely mega effort here in the silver qualifying. But all the golds here are starting to line up right beside Paule like a bunch of predators seeking out their prey. Not that, you know, silver and gold is a complete difference of pace, but I mean, definitely Paule proving that to be false, but you know.
Yeah, that lap, I mean, it's really proving to be, you know, quite the impressive lap there from Paule.
And speaking of, Mueller just improved 0.2 going into turn 19, and out of turn 20, it's gonna be really close.
It's gonna be really close.
Barely misses out 28 thousandths of a second.
Or just under 300ths. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really close there.
The first even close, even remotely close challenger to Paule's provisional pole time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is definitely close, and Movo slotting in really close behind as well. Yeah, really, you know. It's a bit of a Ferrari sandwich there.
Yeah, Thomas Olhausen improving up to P4 here. So all these drivers that have just crossed the line are going to be on their last lap. Everyone on track at the moment is on their last lap. Mueller improving still about even, just loses about a 10. Oh, that's big. Oh, and Movo goes off the track. That's going to be it for him.
He invalidated, and that was his celebration of invalidating, I'm sure.
Nice. Yeah. Speaking of celebrating invalidations, we had a very notable one in D1 last night with Mr. Sir.
Mr. Sir.
If you know, you know.
That was a good one.
I gotta watch that again.
Flying.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good.
Brian Anderson, though, making a case for a front row start here. 0.4 up on his delta, which would put him on the front row, I think. Maybe, no, on the second row. It just goes to show how close these times are. At the top of D2 here, Brian Anderson in the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini is also quick in the quali trim. It's similar to the Porsche, where I feel like the car just excels in quali a bit more than in the race, and he does improve a lot on exit turn 19.
Time. Yeah, this is
going to be on pole.
Almost pole.
Oh no!
Here. Oh my god!
Look at how close it is at the top.
Oh my! They're literally 4 drivers within half a.
That is insane.
And then Olhausen here also improving on his time. We'll see how close.
Big gain there.
Yeah, it's
kind of falls away a little bit. Must have missed the apex very slightly. The braking is pretty difficult to get there. The ABS does tend to act a little bit
especially
funky there.
In the Nissan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loses a little bit of time on exit from turn 15, but going through Gravitron here, if you can find the correct line, you're going to gain a lot of time, with which Thomas is kind of flirting with the delta here. It's going up, going down, hovering around half a tenth improvement. Gets a good turn 19 exit, and he just invalidates.
Oh, he invalidates. Oh, that's painful.
That is painful. And I imagine Thomas is a bit gutted after putting into practice, putting in the time. He definitely was one to watch this week. But Paulie Hartman, take a bow. What a lap. I mean, that was incredible.
Yeah, that really, really held up there. Even his banker, would have held up. And yeah, it's impressively close between these drivers.
Yeah, it's very close. And we obviously look forward to seeing these drivers battling close on the race, but that's going to be in about 2 minutes time. In the meantime, we are going to run a short ad message just to keep the league running. So we will be right back.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT 3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top-tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specialising in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
Hello, everybody. I see Fire Queso, notably Paulie Hartman's race engineer, I assume, this week around. Super hyped for his Champion Motorsports compatriot. Paulie Hartman on pole, leading all these drivers through Cota, through the Sector 1, 2, and 3 on the reconnaissance lap, the formation lap. It's going to be a long one. So, Donald, we have a few talking points. First of all, Silver driver beating out 9 other gold drivers. Dixon
that's
Byrne Jr.
amazing.
in 11th. Honestly, good effort from all the Silver drivers. I think it's super competitive so far this season. I imagine going to Valencia next week is going to be more of the same, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And but yeah, it's huge. Paul already had a huge race. He didn't lead too much from the next Silver driver, because I think the next Silver driver was Harold McDonald in P5 last race. But now looking at that gap, McDonald is starting P13th, and so yeah, it's just a massive gap, and Paul is going to be really happy about that.
For sure. In the meantime, let's go through the drivers. Obviously, we have Paulie Hartman starting on pole position after an insane qualifying session, putting a very, very fast lap time as a banker lap of 205.7, and then improving to a 205.6, which ended up proving to be pole position. Brian Anderson, his Champion Motorsports fellow driver. I think they're all Champion Motorsports, right? Yeah, they should be.
Yep.
Brian Anderson in P2 in the Lamborghini. We're seeing signs of the old Brian Anderson showing up. They're competing for the team championship, him and Matt Higgs. Speaking of Matt Higgs in P9, not where he wants to be after a win and a P2 start last season, but not too bad. You know, this is a race of attrition at the end of the day, so we'll see where they all end up. Going through the rest of the group, we have Philip Mueller in P3, the lead GTR of his teammate Thomas Olhausen in P5. Amos Movo, last week's pole sitter, starting on the second row in P4. Not too bad of a qualifying session. Obviously had that little muck up in turn 1, but no, it's okay. He got a good lap in at the end of the day.
400ths behind Pauly's.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty darn
close. Good. Yeah.
Anyway, going through the rest of it, we got Selena Boonstra in P6, Kyle Barber P7, Mason Moffitt in P8, the first McLaren on the road in Division 2, ahead of notably Jason Allen and Mike Gino in P14 and 15. We got Matt Higgs, last week's Division 2 winner in P9, Nico Suave in P10, Diggs Byrne Jr. in 11th, Ethan Marvin in P12. We got Harold McDonald in P13, Jason Allen P14, Mike Gino P15, Riley Greer in P16. We got Jack Krause in 17th, Matt Artem in 18. The other MIGs, Max Stiggs in P19, Ponzo Rigatoni with a very solid effort in qualifying, putting him in P20. Ahead of his teammate Pat Cockroft in P24. We got Kevin Nichols in P21, Jacob Busterski in P22. It was surprising, you know, a bit slower, I guess, this week than last week. Jacob Busterski in a pretty quick car. But we'll see how he does in the race. We got Justin McKechnie right behind him in P23, Pat Cockroft P24, Justin Seckham in P25, P26 we got Tristan Zamora, we got Dustin Ficker P27, Sean Leach P28, Jess Osborne P29, Sean Williams P30, Rusco Bat P31, Jacob Hart in the outing P32, Juan Caro in P33, Curtis Lee in P34, Raf Cab P35, Willie Sadat in P36, GB3, where's Mama GB3 at? P37, Raheli Vitez in P30, and rounding out the grid is Rowdy Burns in P39. So a lot less drivers this week as we are leading up to the grid. I made it on time once again, Donovan. I'm good at this. I'm good at this. Anyway, side by side here, we got the Ferrari and the Lamborghini. One car is good on starts, the other is not so good. Let's see how the Ferrari is able to handle the lead up to turn 1. Pauly Hartman takes the green light, the green flag. They're side by side. Everyone's going side by side. The Nissan gets a mega launch. Philip Mueller sniffing up the inside a little bit. Pauly goes very wide, and Philip Mueller says, "Thank you very much. I will take that." As his teammate Thomas Olhausen kind of picking the straps of P3, but side by side here with Brian Anderson, Philip Mueller getting a dream start here. Pauly Hartman, not so dream start, going a little bit wide in turn 1. But that happens here. Philip Mueller getting the dream start, as I said. We got Amos Movo here in the thick of it, driving against the Lamborghini, the BMW, and Selena Boonstra in the Porsche. So far, so good. I see no yellow flags, but that was the same thing that happened last time. We didn't see yellow flags until Sector 2, and boy, did it kick off. It was a lot of carnage last week. And we see P35, or car 35, that's, oh no, that's Justin McKechnie, and race control is going all over the place. And there's a lot of drivers blinking in and out of the pits. Let's see what happened here. Oh, it's a complete gaggle of cars here going through Sector 1, Donovan. This is incredible. Let's see what happened here. It looked like a car got turned around. Thank you so much, ACC, for the angle. And Dustin Ficker puts his car where it shouldn't be, and he's just facing on the apex. Justin McKechnie, kind of a passenger to what has been a very unfortunate race start for him, all the way in P27, P28, and the ACC is just going crazy at the moment with the relatives. I don't know what's going on. Oh my goodness. Am I here? Donovan, hello? Earth to Donovan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah, no, that definitely...
oh, more yellow flags!
Yeah, things are kind of going a little bit crazy on my screen, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is I might have to restart this because this is, oh, I think it evened out a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's stabilized.
Oh, it just says not connected. Anyway, we saw Nico Suave, car 111. I can't get to him at the moment, but he is off track, far off the top 10 now. And Philip Mueller with a commanding lead of 1.6 seconds over P2 Pauly Hartman, the pole sitter. Brian Anderson on his tail, pressurizing him already.
Yeah, dream start there for Philip Mueller. I mean, you're really just kind of faking out that inside pass, and yeah, Pauly kind of going wide there, and Philip, yeah, now a second and a half, over a second and a half of a lead, almost 2 seconds now. And yeah, now Pauly has to deal with Brian Anderson, who's going to be hungry for getting another position here.
I have some bad news. Race control is dead.
Yes, yes,
It's definitely dead because I just tried reconnecting it here and it just doesn't work. But you know what? We're doing it live, folks. We're doing it live. We're changing the cameras live. This is a nice camera here, though. I do want to go through this camera because this is awesome. I wanted this in lap 1, but there was such a... Oh, look at that. The cars are just going through the cameraman. Get out of the way!
I do love that camera angle, though. I mean, this is such a photogenic track, but...
It definitely is.
Oh, Rowdy Burns. Yeah, everyone was glitching, so I left. Yeah, it really looked like things were... Like, something was definitely off. So it wasn't just us. It was the server itself, it seems, was a little bit wonky.
Is race control working for you? Because
Nope, it isn't.
No, it's not. That's really a shame.
It's down.
Okay. I guess we will try to manually go car by car, see where everyone is. This is just not ideal. But Paulie Hartman still holding P2. He's got Philip Mueller has built a pretty sizable gap in just 2 laps already. And there is a yellow flag here in the back. Can I go to the back? Let's see if I can go to the back. Riley Greer in the pits.
No.
This is so difficult. This is a commentating nightmare.
Yeah, that's race control for you. It's awfully reliable, isn't it?
I mean, what do I do? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hang in there, folks. We're working on a fix. And by a fix, I mean praying that race control fixes itself.
Yeah, it just starts working.
I don't think it's gonna work, to be honest.
Oh, Ponzo in the chat. Well, that was interesting. So did you have cars disappearing? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we did.
Oh, it's happening here. It just happened.
Yeah, it something definitely seems off with the server for sure. I mean, we have so many cars in the pits. That's crazy how many cars we have in the pits.
Yeah, so those all, at least some of them, I know Nico Suave had an incident, so I assume he just RTG'd, returned to garage, but I know Riley Greer's coming out just now. I imagine a lot of these cars, I see Rowdy Burns in the chat saying he's disappointed. I assume he also disconnected. So a lot of these drivers, I think, who else was in the top 10? We had a couple of gold drivers. I know, where did Matt Higgs go? He's all the way in the back.
Yeah.
Or he's even here. I have no idea. The Delta's all over the place. I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, Nico Suave in the chat saying that was brutal. Absolute chaos with blinking and ghosting cars. Yeah, you hate to see it. It's not even in our control. It's not even in your control. There's nothing we can do but just sit back and be passengers to whatever just happened. But yeah, so we have Jacob Hart in the pits, Sean Williams in the pits, Nico Suave, we just talked about in the pits, Tristan Zamora in the pits, Sean Leach all the way in the back. I assume he was also a disconnect because he's almost seemingly a lap down. Riley Greer also all the way in the back. We have Max Diggs all the way in the back as well. Justin McKechnie fighting after a lap 1 incident, so I guess he's fine, but yeah, all these drivers that you see that are in the pits on the left side are completely out of it. So Matt Higgs as well, not in the server. He is completely out of the race, so that is race over for him. Wow. I mean,
man,
not ideal.
Man, that is crazy. Yeah, this is definitely not the most ideal way to start this Cota race.
Not at all, no.
Iris in the chat says she's hacking the mainframe.
Iris, please make sure that everything's working.
Yeah, unhack the mainframe.
In the meantime, I do want to get to this train. I do see... Oh, there's a death. I wish I could go back. I wish I could go back.
Yeah.
Raheli Vite is taking a track cut. Very very generous track cut there, which
just
brings GP3
He's taking the Joker lap.
Yeah, Queso in the chat saying Amazon Web Services got us an SRA too, huh? Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, looking at the mini map, we're seeing that Philip Mueller still is holding this gap. Paulie Hartman in P2. So not much change at the front of the grid if we're gonna speed run through. I guess I'm sorry, folks. You're just gonna have to bear with us. Paulie Hartman holding purple lap, and I kind of hope that we get a red flag or something, because this is really not just annoying for the drivers, but for broadcasting too. It's it's tough. I mean, fortunately,
Yeah.
you know, using our stewarding prowess to go through the cameras. I mean, we can do some F7 action here, but that's gonna just be crazy. I mean, we're probably gonna end up somehow outside of the the ACC universe by zooming out all the way. But yeah, I mean, this is probably worst case scenario, not just for D2, but all of SRA. No one wants to see anyone disconnect from the race, especially at a competitive racetrack like Cota. So it's really unfortunate. Matt Higgs in the chat saying that the drivers that didn't disconnect, their laps aren't registering, which is quite interesting. I don't know what's going on. Amos Movo in the pits. I guess he's going for an undercut, so let's try to get to his car. This is impossible. Racing here. Oh, perfect. We got some racing with Ethan Marvin and Harold McDonald.
Some race. Yeah.
I guess we could stay on this train for a little bit. Again, guys, boys and girls watching back home, I do apologize for this. At least we're watching some racing here. Lexus following the Mercedes. Lexus is pretty tough here in the dirty air. It's already difficult to maneuver in these high-speed corners, so just the car is so wide and so heavy. Oh, yeah, that is
what a race.
What a race. Going one by one. We have Dick Zipburn Jr. on the back of Matt Artem, our token Audi driver, and we now have 2 Audi drivers in D2. Jacob Hart swapping from the Aston Martin to arguably it's quite a switch. It's very
It is, yeah.
Going from probably one of the safest cars in ACC to one of the more dangerous ones in the Audi. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he performs with it. He's on my fantasy team now, so am I upset about it? A little bit, but hey, if you can get some results, then shoot, I mean, it's pretty good. Still got a nice train here. So the cars that are still in the race are, you know, they're still racing, right? Dick Zipburn Jr. showing that the pyramids on those apexes are not to be messed with. I'm curious to see where Amos is going to end up, because I think he exited right in the middle of a huge train of cars, which is not no, he's actually nearing turn 11, right behind I think Max Diggs and Riley Greer. So he's pulling a massive undercut, massive blinder on the leaders. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't, who knows.
Yeah, that is quite the undercut, and especially at a track where, you know, if you're not careful, tire wear can be pretty high, especially in you know, some of the higher turns, like, or higher speed turns, like through the S's, you know, where we're coming up, and, you know, through the fast right-handers in sector 3.
Yellow flag behind for car 231, and I believe that is Jacob Hart. Let's manually go back. Oh, we're skipping past him. No, we're not. No, it's GB3. Ay. Yeah, I gotta remember my driver numbers, guys. I think Jacob Hart is 131, not 231. So apologies for that, GB3. But yeah, yellow flag for GB3. Loses a lot of time on the cars ahead, including, I think, Matt Higgs is back in the race, P34. So there's something.
Well, hey, points still count down there, so I mean,
they do.
It's still worth it to put in laps. Yeah, look at how crazy. I mean, some of these drivers 3 laps behind, and still needing to serve their pit stops. Definitely interesting. Yeah. Yeah, sorry folks. This is definitely we're working with what we got here. We got quite this train here in the mid pack though, right here, where drivers are still close to each other. There's definitely still some battles, to be had here, and but yeah, looking at really deep on the brakes there from Curtis Lee. Fortunately, keeping it out of the back of Booster Ski there, but yeah, super deep on the brakes there. Out there with, I don't know who that was with. I could not see who, but it looked like he made contact with somebody out there. If I had race control, I'd be able to tell you, but I don't have race control. So, was it GB3? I don't know. I don't know who it was with. Movo though, looking at some, going through some traffic, he just put in the fastest lap. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Put on the fresher tires, and he's just looking for as clean of air as he can, so he could try to make up ground in this super undercut. Sorry, we're going through some more technical difficulties here from
Hello?
On Anton. Oh, there, Anton's back.
I hate this headset. I don't hate it. Iris got it for me for my birthday. It's pretty good. But dude, my microphone just randomly shuts off at the worst times. I'm like I was literally saying, hey, that was Ralph Cab and Tristan Zamora getting into an incident, and I'm like, hello, Donovan, can you hear me? I'm telling you who it is.
Oh man, yeah.
It's just not the day. Hear you. It's not the day.
Yeah, it seems kind of everything is going wrong, to be honest.
Iris in YouTube's chat just saying, I hear Anton downstairs raging. I guess you could say that's what it is. Because man, this is just annoying.
Yeah, that's definitely when it rains, it pours. Am I right? I mean, that's kind of how it was at Cota IRL this year at the WEC race.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's pouring in a slightly different way here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, hey, we got teammates technically next to each other on track, not by position. I think Riley is going to be blue flagged there.
Yeah, he's a couple laps down. He's one of the victims of the disconnect of 2025. We're gonna call it.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the race starts of all time.
Riley's got to move here though. His teammate's on a tear. He's got the fastest lap. He's on an undercut strategy. Very far offset. So I imagine Amos is in his ear. Riley, get a move on, or just like telling him to move.
I mean,
so
I imagine they're in VC together.
What I'm also seeing is, I don't know if you can see on the mini map at the front, but the leader Philip Mueller is lagging out of existence, and it's showing me that it's actually Paulie in the lead, but it's still not Paulie in the lead. Paulie actually has closed up a gap. They closed the gap up to Philip Mueller. It's about 0.6 of a second now, which definitely is sign of good things to come. But you see the Lamborghini in the back blinking in and out of existence. I mean, this is just not ideal at all whatsoever.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's definitely not good. But yeah, with you could see Philip blinking in and out. Oh man, that's terrible. Yeah, I mean, you don't want that is not good for anybody, who's battling. And because especially when you're going side by side, you have no idea where anybody is, and so you almost don't want to go for any sort of pass or anything.
Yeah, I'm hearing that apparently D4 also had a restart, or had the restart. D2 did not have the restart. Not as many disconnects in D2 as we had in D4, so wow, not the best of nights for SRA.
No, the servers definitely seem to have had a little bit of an oopsie.
A little bit's an understatement, don't you think?
Hulkenberg T1.
Anyway, Philip Mueller kind of slowing down a little bit. We're about 20 minutes in. Probably a little bit surprised. Going for a little bit of a slide there through turn 19.
Yeah.
Again, the car does get quite unsettled there. The Nissan on race trim is very difficult to control, and Paulie Hartman proving that pole lap wasn't a joke. He was on it. So definitely close, and you could see Philip Mueller falling back on the leaderboard on the left. That's what I'm saying. I just don't understand what's going on right now. He's blinking in and out of existence again. Look at this.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of worried for both these drivers' races, because if Philip Mueller lags into Paulie Hartman behind, then I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
He's just not even there right now. Oh, did Philip just disconnect?
I don't know. I see Jacob Busterski 543 off at turn 19, completely RTGing him instantly, and I think Philip disconnected.
I think Philip disconnected.
What is going on? That is the most gutting disconnect so far.
Yeah, because that's 20 minutes into the race. The leader of the race just disconnected.
Wow, that is. I mean, good for Paulie.
Yeah. I mean, that made that a lot easier for Paulie, but man, this is definitely tough. This is really tough.
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen something like this, really, for
I do want to go check in D2 chat because yeah, race leader got kicked. Wow. Dude, this is, oh my god. This is so unfortunate, really. In the meantime, I guess we're going to continue racing. I know this is not what you guys want to see in terms of a race. Just the leader disconnecting. Probably re-inheriting the lead from the start of the race on lap 9. But yeah, it's Ark in the chat saying if I was in Philip's shoes, I would be breaking something right about now, which honestly I think a lot of us would share that same sentiment.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that does mean Paulie has got some free air, but for how long? Because, you know, it's I don't know. Paulie might be next in the disconnecting train because Kuno seems to be out for blood this week.
Yeah, for real. We got Fire Queso saying Paulie's not happy about getting the spot this way. Yeah,
I don't think anyone would be.
I don't think there's a single person that I know of in SRA that would be happy about getting the lead that way. Especially when it's not even it's not even on Philip's end. You know, his internet is likely not at all the culprit here. So yeah, it's a bummer.
Apparently the blinking is even worse for them than it is for us.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, there's probably a lot more data, being shared back and forth.
I honestly don't know what to do in this scenario. Like, what do you do if you're, I guess, the admins, right? Because, you have this race, which I guess would deem an unfair result just because a lot of the drivers in the top 10, you had Nico Suave disconnect after not seeing anybody on the track and then randomly just phasing into cars crashing on lap 1. That was his race over. And then we just saw the leader after Paulie Hartman going wide in turn 1, Philip Mueller getting a pretty sizable gap in the first couple laps, and now he's out of the race. So I don't know what to do. I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I could invite Philip Mueller to the commentating, but since he's not racing now, but like, I don't know.
No.
I don't know if it's a good idea to have
might
someone
not
who
be a
just
good
disconnected
idea.
from P1.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think that would be the best idea.
We do still have the other Nissan on the road in Thomas Olhausen and P3, bringing home good points for the team, but at this rate, I mean, it's kind of a toss-up to who actually stays in the server. I have no idea. Kyle Barber and Nico Suave's teammate in P4. We have Harold McDonald shooting up all the way into P5. So pretty strong results for him if it stays this way. But one driver that I do want to look out for, you know, we have Amos Movo still holding that purple lap, you know, massive undercut. So he pit from P4 on the grid. I imagine he's going to be making some pretty sizable inroads on everybody at this point. So going through all the blue flag cars, at the moment he's approaching Gravitron, turn 16, 17, and 18 on track. Yeah, this is just not the best race, folks. I'm really sorry that this is happening to D2 specifically. I guess D4 as well. That's justice for SRA Wednesdays. Hashtag justice for Wednesday SRA. You know, it's rather unfortunate. So I apologize to everyone watching at home and those drivers that are racing on track today. It's not ideal scenario. I guess one solution, I mean, Mason proposed that we can reschedule the race and take whatever better result you get so it doesn't mess up the people that already did good at the top, but like, then again, you know, that's still not fair. I feel like dropping this race completely from the point tally is probably a bit better.
Yeah,
So there's
I
two
agree.
drop races. Because for those people who are, you know, who don't know, in SRA, we do have one drop race per season. Where, you know, if you have not so good a result 1 week as opposed to other weeks, that result gets dropped from your final point tally. And yeah, we have a conspiracy here. Jason Allen did not disconnect, so what's going on here? Huh?
And he's up like 8 positions.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. It's hard to tell because we don't have race control, so you know.
Jason
He's
Allen
going
actually
in for
to
his
this,
pit
yeah.
stop.
That's quite an opportune time. The undercut is very strong here. I am curious to find out where Amos comes out, related to this gaggle of cars. So Pauly Hartman going through turn 5 here. I gotta go through these cars. Everyone's pitting. A lot of cars are pitting at the moment. Justin Seckham not pitting. I think he's not a lap down. The last car that's a lap down is Max Stiggs, I believe. Pat Cockcroft going into service stop. Juan Caro in P15 at the moment. This is a absolute disaster to manage.
Oh, we have Philip in the chat. He's apologizing for fantasy. Fantasy is not the highest worry, I don't think, right now. It was such a bummer though to see your race end that way. I mean, that was definitely heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's definitely not what you want to see. I mean, I imagine everyone's gutted for Philip for there. We saw him, fantastic start, getting the P1 where he put his car where it needed to be, and just Kuno said hell no. So you know, just unlucky, really unlucky. This gap between P2, oh my goodness, this is just an absolute disaster to manage. This gap between P1 and P2 has relatively stayed the same. Pauly Hartman pulling a little bit of a gap over Brian Anderson in the last couple of laps. It is up to, I can only guess what this gap is. It's probably about 1.2 seconds ish. I think that's what it sounds like. Pauly Hartman going in for a stop, and Brian Anderson as well. So Fire Queso in Pauly's ear, telling box, 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 box. Don't miss your bit box. Make sure it's clean. And all eyes are going to be
at the same time.
Yeah. I guess that's a Champion Motorsports thing. Kyle Barber also going to the pits. Harold McDonald as well going to the pits. Selena Booster as well going to the pits. Let's see where Dick Zipper Jr. decides to be here. Going extra lap here. So he's going to be overcutting the cars. Jess Osborne as well. Shooting past the apex a little bit, but no, not losing too much time. Kevin Nichols also into the pits. Justin Seckham going another lap out. Juan Carlos as well. Waleed, let's see if he doesn't dive into the pits. He does not. Rusco Bat going through sector 3 here. I want to get onto Amos's car because he is our resident undercutter. But there we go. So, Amos Movo Boost Racing undercut at lap, I think it's like lap 3 maybe, right? I know it was around 53 minutes to go. So, let's see what happens here. Amos Movo going around the last corner here. Where is this going to put him relative to the leaders? It was a very early undercut. Paulie Hartman coming out of the pits right now, so the undercut was not as good as Amos wanted it to be, but he does get past Kyle Barber again, so that does put him provisionally into P4, I believe, which is where he was.
Well, no, I think he went into the pits behind Selena. He went into the because he had some issue through sector 1 on lap 1 that we missed due to all of the chaos. Yeah, so yeah, he was behind Selena. I think he was in P7 when he went into the pits. So definitely made a bit because yeah, he's effectively P4 right now. Yeah.
Yes. Which is
if
where
I'm
he's
doing
starting.
my maths correctly, because yeah, he's just basically undid damage that happened at the beginning.
I don't think anything can undo what damage was done to the D2 and D4 races today.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, look, you can even see in the stands, the fans are all leaving, right? The stands are not full. Like, oh man, Kuno's done did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I'm really saddened. I was excited to watch this race because Cota is one of those races where the racing is just fantastic. I mean, we saw into turn 1 just the sheer drama, where Philip Mueller from P3 goes all the way into P1 after both P1 and P2 missed the apex of the corner. But Thomas Holhausen into the pits, so is Jess Osborne. Dick Zipper Jr. stays out for another lap, going past the 30-minute mark. Yeah, I mean, let's see. I mean, can Amos undercut Thomas Holhausen here? That's the real question.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Thomas Holhausen, staying out that extra lap. I'd look at the, lap times, but I think Holhausen is moving. Yeah, he is moving. So it's actually going to be pretty close, but I think Holhausen's going to stay ahead. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be really close here.
I think he does get him. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he gets him.
Wow, that's close.
Just barely. So, yeah, Amos Movo taking provisional P3 for now.
So, yes, that is provisional P3, but we all know Amos's tires are very old at this point, so they're probably experiencing some degradation at this point, unless he was quite easy on them. Jess Osborne with our first automatic penalty from the game. I guess we did have automatic penalties in terms of disconnects, didn't we? So
yeah, we had some serious penalties that weren't really punishing the drivers.
Yeah.
But punishing for the drivers for deciding to race today, I guess. But
I guess. I mean, man, that's not ideal, as we've been saying the entire night. But Thomas Holhausen here, going to be hunting down Amos Movo. I mean, Amos Movo's going to be on the older tires here. Thomas Holhausen on the quicker tire, quicker strategy, I suppose. Amos Movo's undercut proving to be pretty strong at the moment, but that Nissan is going to be on a charge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Down into the braking zone. Still quite a steady gap. It's about half a second back to Amos from Thomas Holhausen's car in P4. Effectively P4. Paulie Hartman leading Brian Anderson by, I can only assume, 1.3 seconds on the relative on the left side. Again, we have no idea. We have no way of telling what's real in this world or not.
Yeah, what's real, what's fake. we don't know.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Yeah. Caught in ACC Kuno servers. No escape from disconnects. Open your
Beautiful,
eyes.
beautiful.
Look up to your game and see. I've been disconnected. Kuno strikes again. I mean, that's the only entertainment we can do with this, right? You know.
That's definitely definitely beautiful. I mean, I'm impressed.
I'm gonna burst out in full song at some point next week during Valencia. I'll probably sing some Spanish tune, you know. going to the circuit Ricardo Tormo next week. It's gonna be another warm race. I think it's a little bit colder than what we have at Austin this week, but yeah, Thomasville hasn't been affected by the dirty air of Amos Movo. Amos Movo getting those tires in a nice window. I think just holding that gap. But Thomas Holhousen's tires will come alive in about a lap and a half time. And he's going to be on the prowl for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got new tires. This is always the time in the Nissan that I always liked is my favorite feeling. You know, I like the Nissan on quali fuel quite a bit, but during the races it could be really finicky, especially as the tires wear. But right when you get the tires on in that, you know, halfway mark is when it feels usually its best in my experience. And you could feel like you could start, you know, putting down some good laps. And so yeah, he's going to be definitely tunnel visioned on Amos up there, and hopefully Amos isn't blinking a ton for him.
I see Ponzo in the chat on YouTube saying this stream just went to the next level. I can keep going, guys. I mean, I did improv in high school. I can probably think of a few things to sing about Kuno servers being the absolute bottom of the barrel in terms of sim racing. But you know, we're trying to remain professional here. We're watching this battle for P3 unfold. Brian Anderson and Paulie Hartman, the Champion Motorsports 1-2. Obviously racing on different teams, but both racing under the same conglomerate. Yeah, I mean,
Paulie's the head of that conglomerate too, so I'm sure Brian's not going to want to do anything too crazy.
I mean, well, why not? You know. And Vateas here is going for an up and under on Brian Anderson, which he is entitled to do, but he's also not racing Brian. Brian's already pit. Vateas is not pit. Queso in the chat saying no team wars, we promise we're not that kind of team. So what I'm hearing is papaya rules, right? Is that my understanding of what's going on?
That's code for, you know, that's the bluff, you know. It's like
Hartman is faster than you. Please confirm you understood that message. Is that what they said to was it Massa or Fisichella? I think it was Massa, right?
Yeah.
That's a crazy statement, a crazy radio message to get from your engineer.
Yeah, that was definitely a crazy time.
I think one of my more favorite ones is when they were talking to Fisichella being like 2 seconds a lap slower than Fernando at Melbourne, and they're saying this cannot be true. You guys have the same car and same tires.
Yeah, this cannot be true. Yeah,
this cannot be true.
That's a classic.
Dude, how demoralized would you be if
that would be terrible? Yeah,
that just sucks. That
yeah,
man, like I get it. It's, you know, I'm slower than my team, but you don't gotta tell me. I can see it clearly. Like he's ahead of me on track, right? Man.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, the only thing it takes to be a race engineer in Formula One is a degree in psychology.
Yeah. I don't know if you're a robot for everyone else, but you've kind of turned into a robot for me, which is which is kind of topping off the experience for tonight.
Great.
Yeah.
What I'm gathering from YouTube is that Iris does not want me to sing.
Yeah, true. But
what a joke.
But Ponzo does want you to sing.
Yes.
So
look at this. Raheli Vite is the only driver who has not pit yet, sitting P3 at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's not his race, right? Obviously he's obligated, as we said, to be where he is on track. But Amos Moa is definitely not going to be happy with this. The tires are already a bit old. You know, following a car is going
that's
to be
what I was
tough.
gonna say. Like their tires are actually similarly
God.
aged. But oh my
This is
gosh,
gonna
yeah,
be his
Movo
opportunity
is
here.
not gonna be happy at all about this.
No, absolutely not. I know
Yeah.
I wouldn't be happy. And that brings Kyle Barber into the fray as well from P6 on the grid at the moment, being undercut by Amos Movo. So provisionally that puts him P5. So this battle for the top 5 here, Kyle Barber looking up the inside of Thomas Olhausen here. The only redeeming quality here is that Amos Movo is going to have the slipstream on Viteas, but it looks like Viteas is defending.
He's defending. He's actually defending.
I don't know how I feel about this, really. I
don't understand. I mean, he's technically allowed
He's allowed, but
it's definitely, I mean, slightly unsportsmanlike, I would think.
Oh my god.
But it's so close between Movo. And the problem is it's only hurting his own race as well. Because he's sacrificing his pace, he's sacrificing, you know, the others too. So definitely
yeah,
looks
Kyle
like he
Barber's
didn't
not going to be happy here either.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Kyle Barber was close to Thomas Olhausen, and now he's nowhere because of Viteas' rather astute defending. Again, it's all fair, but if you're Kyle Barber here, I am... and he's still not pitting. Wow.
I don't quite understand the strategy because it's not going to be helping out his race all that much, I don't think.
Ryan said, welcome back, Brooker Quig. Yeah, damn right. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Ryan, if you're just tuning in now on Twitch, we've had the race of all races where the entire server decided to implode in on itself. So if we don't have race control, we don't have... the thing we do have is my beautiful voice serenading the viewers at home. You know, so
sounds like a robot for me.
Do I actually? Okay, guys, chat. Do I sound like a robot? Is that what's going on? I'm normal on stream according to Iris.
Hopefully, it's just
that's good.
Hopefully, it's just a Discord thing then.
Can you give us an impression of what I sound like?
I don't think I could. No. To be honest, I don't think I could. Yeah. It's that's pretty good. Olhausen getting, I mean, Movo going for an early defense here to try to break that toe, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything against Olhausen here. Olhausen has a ton of overspeed on that. Oh, they come in contact.
That's going to be all she wrote for Amos there. Those tires are dead.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he had that in the back of his mind. You know, Olhausen was on brand new tires. He's on a car that, you know, has a lot of pace on the straight. And, yeah, so, I mean, I'm sure he was expecting that, but...
Absolutely. Yep. So the Nissan is back into the provisional podium positions, which I imagine it was only going to be a matter of time for Thomas Olhausen. The Nissan was quick, obviously in the quali trim. Barneson taking the fastest lap of the race away from Paulie Hartman and Amos Movo. So, yeah, I mean, it's Raheli Viteas is only going to the pits now, so I don't want to say, I guess he's tormented enough drivers this week for in the top 5. But, I mean, fair play. He's allowed to do what he did, but I imagine the top 5 were not very happy with what he did.
No. I can't imagine they were.
Yeah, that brings Kyle Barber back into the fight with Amos Movo here for P4. So Amos's tires are going to be screaming at this point, and they still got 18 minutes to go. So either he's going to have to put up the defense of a lifetime, put on his best Charles Leclerc impression against Lando Norris, or I guess just give it up.
Yeah. Yeah, look at the delta, or at least what appears to be the delta from Olhausen, you know, and Anderson. That definitely cost. I want to say Olhausen was only like 3 seconds behind when he went into the pits. So that whole debacle definitely cost a lot of time for Olhausen. So he's definitely going to be looking to hunt down, you know, the lap time there.
I can see there's some drama in the D2 chat. I'll leave you to look at that on your own, but
yeah. It's been a drama-filled, race with all these disconnects, and I imagine a lot of.
Yeah, we got some racing at least. Kyle Barber up the inside of Amos Movo,
yeah.
turn 13, I think that is. So Amos Movo does bleed another position. I don't imagine he's going to bleed any more positions unless Jason Allen can really start putting in those heater laps in against the Ferrari. So the McLaren obviously on fresher tires than the Ferrari. Ferrari already on almost, it seems to be almost 40, creeping up on 40-minute old tires, which at a warm track like this, where Sector 1 you're going to be grading the tires is all high speed, especially following cars in Sector 3 where it's high speed then low speed. Yeah, I mean, not the best for tire situation. So yeah, I suppose from this point forward for Amos Mo it's going to be damage control. He did the undercut. I guess he did get past Selena Boonstra, where if I recall correctly, you said that where he was, but yeah, I do want to go back to this train where Matt Artem is. There is Dixon Byrne Jr., Mike Gino, and Ethan Marvin close behind. So Matt Artem defending his top 9 position from the Porsche of Zipper Byrne Jr. Let's see how this gets. So the Porsche is falling pretty close through Sector 1 with that golden tooth. Does that mean he's got to win? Is that what it is? Maybe?
Yeah.
I think that's the best bet. Yeah, we got a train here. We got a small train with I think it's 875 in Sector 3 is Viteas with a RAF cab. I see Riley Greer. I think Sean Williams is in that fight too. But really, we got a whole pack, a whole gaggle of cars here. I believe that's also going to be car 291 Kevin Nichols creeping up on this battle. Yep, you can see the McLaren in the background. You can also see the Lamborghini of Jack Krause. That would be Brian Anderson's teammate in P14. So Brian Anderson bringing home some good points for the team. Paulie Hartman as well. Who's Paulie's teamed up with? Is it GB3 this season?
No.
Or GB3 is with Waleed. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah.
Who's Paulie with? Is Paulie on his own?
We are checking. We are checking.
We are checking. Must be the water.
Oh yeah, Queso helping me out there. Sean Williams.
Oh, thank you so much, Queso. Appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, we quick recap on the race with 15 minutes to go. We got only a quarter of the race left to go. Paulie Hartman sitting at P1 after a earlier disconnect from Philip Mueller. Here we see Dixon Byrne Jr. in P10 fighting for P9 with Matt Artem. Right behind him is Mike Gino in P11, Ethan Marvin and Kevin Nichols all scrapping for those top 10 points. Obviously, we do get points all the way up to P40. So everyone gets points this race, basically. Especially with all the disconnects, right? So Artem goes defensive into turn 1 here. Zip Byrne Jr. taking the racing line. Hoping to get a nice run through Sector 1. Maybe he gets onto the back straight, overtakes the Audi. But, the Porsche is not known for its best straight line speed. It's quick through Sector 1 here, but the Audi, if, kept on track, it's pretty solid. It's just a bit hard to handle at times, but the Audi is a quick car.
The Audi, like, so bad at it. I have not gotten along with that car.
Yeah, hey Donovan.
Yeah.
We should drive the Audi.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've heard that.
But yeah, as I said, Dixon Byrne Jr. very close at this point to Matt Artem's rear wing. We might see an overtaking opportunity here. If Zip Byrne Jr. can get a good exit, which it looks like the Audi just kind of scampers away at the beginning stage. It's got good exit out of good acceleration out of those corners, and the Porsche's just not getting any inroads. Wow.
Yeah, really didn't. I mean, if anything, the Audi extended that gap.
Yeah, it did. If anything, the Lexus is closing up to Mike Gino behind.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It looked like it was a little bit closer until the braking zone. I don't know if Marvin had a little bit of trouble with the brakes there. That wouldn't be unheard of in the Lexus.
I don't think the Lexus ever has problems with brakes, never.
No,
Nope.
those brakes are perfect.
I mean, they're the best brakes in the game. Vitaeus with a drive-through, I believe he
Oh,
just
I was
got
just
that.
gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's. I mean, honestly, that's pretty. That's a long time to not have a drive-through. Granted, we've had a lot of, disconnects. But
we had one stop go 30 with Jess Osborne, and I think
but
Vitaeus has
a
given
pit
up.
stop. I think the drive-through would be track limits.
I think so. There is a chance to get either or. I believe if you go too fast into, like if you're going way too fast into the pits, you get a stop go 30. If you are only slightly too fast, you just get a drive through.
Yeah, I think it's 10 kilometers. So if you're
Oh my
within, 0 to 10 kilometers, it's a drive through. And if you're, 10 to 30, it's a stop go 30.
So Vitaeus is doing something. And I only caught it on the map earlier. The leaders were seriously approaching him very fast. And I gotta say, I think he impeded Brian, but I have no idea. Can we get an in-house report from Fire Queso? I wanna know if anything transpired of that. We are checking. We'll come back to you.
We are checking. Queso said he did.
He affected both.
I don't know.
Well, at least it was both drivers that he affected, so that's I guess that's fair between the two.
Yep. No contact.
Yeah, Vitaeus affected not only the trio of Olhausen, Barber, and Movo, but he also affected Hartman and Anderson. So that's I guess
tough.
The Infinity Stones of D2 he's getting. But yeah, fair enough. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing an overcut, and I mean, judging from what just happened, I gotta look back, but if he affected both, just spinning on and off track, then I think there could be some reprimanding action after the race, but I'm not one to comment on that. Anyway, the battle for P1 continues. Paulie Harmon still holding the purple lap, right ahead of Brian Anderson.
More blinking too. I don't know if you saw that the same, but it seems to be still giving a lot of trouble.
I hope that we have left the blinking behind us at this point, because there's only 10 minutes to go. If we had a disconnect in either one of the drivers in this race, it's just gonna be what's the word I'm thinking of, Donovan? Countless hours?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Something countless hours. Absolutely.
something countless hours. We spend countless hours. This league isn't what it once used to be.
something like that. Yeah. But what position is Jeff Spangler in?
Jeff is probably I don't know, to be honest. Maybe in D3. Go check the D3 race or D4 race. He's definitely not here. Yeah, Brian Anderson's very close to Paulie at this point in time. So we got another drive through Ethan Marvin. What just happened?
Oh,
there
no.
we go.
The Lexus.
Yeah, the Lexus is I imagine, I mean, it's gonna feel a lot faster on the lighter fuel load, but the Lexus isn't the kindest on its tires. It's known to slide around a lot in the high speed and medium speed corners, and low speed it's quite treacherous in the sense that the traction control sometimes doesn't work. We saw that with Douglas Mitchell last night. Again, happy birthday, Dougie. The car just snapped because when you go below 50 kph, the TC doesn't actually activate. So,
Rip, was that a turn 10 moment?
It was a turn 11 moment, yeah.
Or turn 11, yeah,
yep.
Sorry.
It was in fact a turn 11 moment. Brian Anderson really putting pressure on Paulie here, though. 8 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Brian Anderson's last lap compared to Paulie was almost 2.5 times quicker, so he's putting the pressure on him. Champion Motorsports teammates, obviously no team orders here. So if Brian can get the pass done, he's going to.
Yeah, I imagine that the Lamborghini's likely a slightly difficult car to get the Ferrari down the back straight. You have to be maybe a little bit more creative in your passing opportunities.
For sure. Yeah, so Ethan Marvin going to the pits to serve his drive-through. Looking at the gaps, Amos Movo actually has been holding quite close to Kyle Barber in P5.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Yes.
quite surprising. There is a battle for P7, it seems, with if I can get to it. Selena Booster getting past Harold McDonald's here, so I wonder what happened there. I would love to go and check what happened, but
yeah,
race control.
Yeah, I mean, something happened to Harold because he was chasing down. He was within a second of Jason Allen, and then within the last sector, something happened because, yeah, now he's behind Selena Boonstra.
Selena having a redeeming race after last week's catastrophe on lap 1 with the spinning fidget spinner of the huge faffing fans.
Yeah.
Harold McDonald looking to the inside here. The Mercedes not keen enough to make a move. With 6 minutes to go, you don't want to preemptively end your race with only this little to go. I mean, this is still a very good result for silver drivers, Harold McDonald. I imagine after this race, Paul is going to get moved though. So I think Harold's in a good spot for the silver championship. I think it's pretty safe to say.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, like you said, my guess is Paul is going to be moved up to gold. I mean, he's had 2 phenomenal races in a row, so I imagine he's on the radar to be moved. Selena looking like she was going a little wide there. I wonder if track limits are at all of a concern. It really only seems like we've had those 2. She went wide again there as well.
I think he's gonna go for a move here. The Selena was on the bumps on the outside,
which has got to slow her down a ton for this straight. And going side by side, she goes very deep.
There goes the over under for Harold McDonald. Yep. He gets the move done.
Absolutely.
Back into P7. Good stuff. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even with the mishaps, we still got some good racing this week.
For sure, absolutely, yeah. Yeah. There's definitely still some good, side by sides to be had. It looks like right now the server's stable enough to be able to know where your opponents are. So that's nice to see.
I do want to check the D4 broadcast after this and see how many disconnects they had, because if theirs was enough to deem a restart, then it must have been way worse than what we had.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Shout outs to Trey Morgan. He's a solo hosting D4.
Oh my!
I can't imagine that's an easy one for him, because he, if race control is down for us, likely race control is down for him as well.
Yep. I gotta say, manually going through these cars has been a hassle, but it's not as hard as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Just gotta, click the arrow a couple times, here and there, wiggle a few buttons. Works. I do want to show some love to the back of the pack, though. Or not really the back of the pack, but you got a fight here between Justin McKechnie and I believe Matt Higgs. But these guys, Matt Higgs has got a drive-through, so Matt Higgs is actually a couple laps down. So this is just a, I guess, a on-track battle. Just to have fun.
Might as well.
So I got some information from good old Dan Cran. So the difference was the timing that it happened. In D4, it happened on the formation lap, so it was quite obvious how many people disconnected. In D2, it happened throughout the first couple 10 minutes, right? So,
man,
wow,
that's
crazy. Yeah, that's insane. I gotta say, hats off to these guys who are a couple laps down. It's staying put in the race. It's not an easy thing to do. I know the mental can get easily affected by things that are completely out of your control. Riley Greer being one of those disconnects early on in the race, holding a P25, which I don't know if I think he qualified a bit higher than that, but honestly, that's a pretty solid result.
I think he was P19 qualifying.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's
not a bad result at all for being disconnected.
Not too bad, yeah.
I do want to go back to this battle because they are side by side for the lead with 2 minutes to go. I seemingly caught them at the perfect time. Brian Anderson holding ahead of Paulie Hartman. He does get the pass done on track. Let's see if they're going to be side by side. I know there's not going to be many fighting as teammates, I guess, conglomerate teammates, but Paulie Hartman goes for the wider line, does get a better exit, but decides to think better of it. Brian Anderson getting the lead with 2 minutes to go at Cota here. the gold champion motorsports driver, which seemingly is going to be 2 gold champion motorsports drivers after this race. Paulie Hartman is not done yet, though. He's going to be on him throughout the entirety of Sector 3 here. Brian Anderson is going to have to hold the lead for just one more lap. Paulie Hartman keen on getting that second, his second podium this season and turning it from pole position to a win. So he's going to have one more opportunity. We're going to stay with these guys for the next lap and see what happens. So Paulie needs to set up this lap to perfection here. Both these cars not the best in a straight line, but this is, as you just heard, spotter, this is the final lap. And there is a car coming out of the pits that is Matt Higgs. Is he going to be a spanner in the works?
Teammate for Brian.
And Brian goes a little bit wide. That invites Paulie to be side by side a little bit through turn 2, but the inside just so much better for that corner. So Brian Anderson holding the lead at the moment, but Paulie Hartman is not done. High octane racing here in the last lap of Cota. Round 2 Silverstone. Or not Silverstone. Jesus, I just said Cota and Silverstone in the same sentence.
Round 2 Cota.
Round 2 Cota Silverstone. Wow, what a track. I mean, they are basically the same track, no?
Yeah.
Anyway, Paulie Hartman keen to stay close to Brian Anderson as they go into the back straight. The Ferrari has been proven to be quite strong in Sector 3, so if he can get a nice advantage here going onto the back straight, it might be close. And Paulie does get a good line, a seemingly good exit, but the Lamborghini just really strong in acceleration here. I'm surprised
Brian's so close. I was just gonna say that what Kelvin mentioned there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Higgs didn't slow down a little bit to give Brian the toe. I don't know if that would have been against team orders, but just considering that Brian doesn't really, Matt isn't really near any of his competitors at the moment on track, but I guess that way you could just keep it right between these two.
This is all or nothing right here for Paulie Hartman. Well, nothing being a P2 finish with the pole position and the fastest lap, so the points that he would get would be quite good. But in the back we see, I think that's Amos Mova and Kyle Barber getting into a small accident of sorts, where we're going to stay on this leading pair at the moment. I think Brian Anderson's got it in the back here. Just got to go through turn 19. No track limits here on the last lap. Paulie Hartman pushing all he can, and Brian Anderson is going to come across the line. If he can get through this corner just enough, he's going to cross the line as a winner in D2 once again. Brian Anderson wins the race. Paulie Hartman right behind him in P2. And yeah, I mean, nice. Thomas Holhausen's going to cross the line in P3, but I do want to get back to this fight. What happened here with Amos Mova? Jason Allen right behind him. Oh, and they bump, and Jason Allen hits Amos on the last corner.
We just caught that in 4K.
And Harold McDonald gets past, and so does Selena. Does Selena get past too? No, she does not. But Jason Allen
does not.
Hitting Amos Movo. I wish I could see what happened there, because Amos Movo, it looked like they were going side by side, and then Jason Allen just nicks the rear quarter panel of the Ferrari, and he is sent flying. Oh no.
Wow.
Did Amos even cross the line?
Wow,
he did.
wow.
Okay. So he finishes P7. Oh, I'm sorry guys. I would love to go check what happened, but I just don't have capabilities for a replay. Or if anyone knows what the hockey is, then please do let me know. Paul Caro finishing P13, Justin second, P14, Waleed, and P15 Ethan Marvin after getting a drive-through in the latter stages of the race, coming across the line in P16 after fighting with Mike Gino for P12. We have Curtis Lee, P17, Rusco Bat after not so great start to the season in P8, finishing in P18. And was that a red flag that the marshal is waving? What's going on there?
Yeah.
About 60 minutes too late, Mr. Marshall.
Yeah.
But yeah, going through the order, I'm trying to... so Pat Cockcroft crossing the line in P18 here. Justin McKechnie fighting off Riley Greer, I guess. No, Riley Greer is still lapped down. But yeah, so Riley Greer finishing or crossing the line in P20. It seems a lot of drivers are still disconnecting, but Sean Williams, that would be Paulie Hartman's teammate, across the line in P21, it seems, and that's gonna be the race. There's still a fight here, I think. Is this a fight? I think no, it's not a fight. Matt Higgs is just racing.
No, I think Matt Higgs is down. I think he's just racing to try to make things more fun.
Yep, and then Olhausen has crossed the line here, so that's gonna be all she wrote for what seems to be a Cota race to forget for SRA, but still nonetheless very impressive racing between all the drivers in D2. Those who have disconnected from the race, I gotta say, I really feel for you. I'm sorry that happened, but you know, there's always next week, and I imagine Valencia will be better. I hope it's not gonna. I hope it is gonna be better.
Yeah, it's got to be, right?
It's got to be. I mean, the only way is up, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, our finishing order was Brian Anderson after a second to last lap pass and holding the lead. A little bit of a moment in turn 1 where he almost lost it. They were going side by side for a brief moment, but holds the lead on the last lap and gets it done. So Brian Anderson is our race winner for this week. Another Champion Motorsports, another win for that team with Matt Higgs and Brian Anderson. So, I mean, they're making a very strong case for the team championship, and it's only round 2, Donovan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just having to like gather myself after that that race. There's a lot to unpack. I feel like after everything that happened, but I mean, with how the things are standing right now, though, Paul is definitely sitting nice. He's had I mean, his pace has been super strong. But I mean, honestly, though, Brian Anderson too. I think I want to say he finished P4 the first race, if I'm not mistaken.
He was definitely close to the podium. Obviously, he was a bit off of it just because P1 we had Matt Higgs, Amos Mova in P2, and then also we had Paulie Hartman getting his. It seems to be maiden podium after such a long time being off the podium, but yeah, Paulie Hartman back-to-back podiums. I think the only driver to repeat podiums so far this season. So, I mean, he's really making a case not just for the season being contender, but even for the drivers' championship. I mean, he's so far, I guess, the most consistent driver of the top 10, of the top 5.
Absolutely.
So, as a customary SRA race broadcast, we obviously interview the drivers, and I think, if I remember correctly, it was Thomas Olhausen in P3. So, right?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure. So yeah, let's drag him in. Let's talk to our podium place finisher. So let's bring him in. Thomas Olhausen, are you here with us?
I am, yes.
All right, I gotta turn you up because last time I was in a VC with you was before I fixed my audio settings. Can you speak one more time for me?
Okay, how about now?
Perfect. Thank you so much. Welcome to the commentary booth. After such a great week of practicing, you were at the top of the leaderboards for so long. Not able to put it through in qualifying. Paulie Hartman had a pretty mega lap for his first lap. I think it was a 2:05.7, and it kind of just proved to be the lap. But the qualifying with itself was super entertaining. I think you were within 4 thousandths of him, or 40 thousandths. Talk us through how qualifying went.
Well, I mean, I was looking at Paulie's lap, and I'm going, wow, he did that on his banker, and I just went out. I think I just set a decent banker in the low 6, and invalidated the next lap. So I knew I had to hold it together, but yeah, it was close. I couldn't push very hard on the 3rd lap, knowing that I needed a decent one. And then once I put that in, ended up, what was that, 5th? I think that was.
I think you were in the top 4. Were you?
Yeah.
Or P5?
I don't recall. I think it was 5th.
P5, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I went really hard on the last lap, and I started with, I think, 2/10 up, lost it in the middle, and then tried to gain it back at the end and invalidated. So
yeah, you would have really made a case for a front row position, but yeah, the race start, I guess, proved to be quite lucky for you and your teammate. Not so much for your teammate as he was disconnected. So I imagine you were in VC with him, maybe.
I was, yes.
Yeah. Do you want to give us a slight teaser on how that was? Because I mean, I know the folks at home can only imagine what that was like.
Well, you'd be surprised. I mean, I was the first one to announce, like, hey, I can't see anything. I mean, the Lamborghini in front of me was flashing in and out, so I started slowing down early, not knowing where he was. I mean, he was gone half the apexes of the corners, and I gotta give it to Barber behind me, just being super patient with me and letting me just settle in. So I appreciate that.
He might have been
Uh,
experiencing the same thing, honestly. I mean, it looked like everybody was kind of fighting for their lives out there with all the blinking.
Absolutely, yeah. And I was like, wow, my teammate is killing it. Look at Mueller go. I mean, he said that Paulie was catching him, but I didn't see it. It looked like to me he was able to hold it on all the straights, and he was doing really well. Very, very unfortunate that he ended up getting disconnected with a bunch of other people. But you know what? He stayed in voice chat with me, and he didn't have any outburst, no upsetness at all. Just said that's the way it goes. You know, I didn't expect to win this race anyway, so let's see if we could get you up there into podium position. And he helped me through. You know, called out people behind me, and we just kept going. So.
Yep, Mr. Mueller,
What a
level-headed as
guy.
always. Yep, a very beloved member of the community. Obviously known as a different name to a lot of people, but you know, we can't say that on stream. But
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, good race from you both. I know that I do want to ask how the Nissan felt from qualifying to race, because I did a few laps in the Nissan earlier this week. I gotta say, on qualifying, it was okay, but I was talking to Kelvin Lau, and he was saying that the car on race fuel is just a completely different monster. So tell us how you were practicing for the qualifying in the race.
So I started out with the same setup for both, and realized I can make a little bit faster setup for the quali, and I needed to make the race setup more stable. So I just went with, you know, less rake on the race, just try to keep it more of a balanced car. I knew it wouldn't be as fast, and clearly those guys were outpacing me up front, but it was a good enough pace. I think I was putting down, when I was practicing, 206.9s with full fuel. I wasn't able to match that in the actual race, I think, just because I was burning through my tires, not really knowing where I was on track. But, yeah, it definitely required a different setup, though.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, you got the pass on Amos done after he pulled a huge undercut. I think he pit with 53 minutes to go, so I think the pass for you was always going to be on there. There was a slight bumping on the straight, but you got the pass done pretty convincingly, and after that, it was kind of just you know, smooth sailing. There was that one moment with Heli Viteas where the only car that has not boxed yet was I guess a bit of an obstacle to you guys up front. I hope he wasn't too much of a nuisance, but I guess you know they are within their right to do that.
But that's a common occurrence, I think, that's been going on, but I can't speak to that. I just know that it was a car in front of us slowing everybody down, and it seemed like he slowed everybody down equally, which was somewhat okay, but
yeah,
it
at the end of the day, if everyone's affected the same way, then it's not the worst thing in the world. Well,
right.
Yeah, Thomas, again, congratulations on the podium, and I gotta say, I'm quite happy with the result, bringing in good points for my fantasy team. So,
oh, fantastic! I didn't even know I was on one.
Oh, you're on my team, big dog. You're on the 3-time Brady winner.
Guess who's on my team?
Mueller.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna practice my heart out for next race. I love that track. So.
Let's
love that.
go. All right. Anyway, Thomas, again, congratulations on a P3. Any shout outs before we send you back?
Just to my teammate and Barber behind me. Just it was great racing with them.
Fantastic. Love to hear it. Wholesome shout outs to everyone else in SRA. Love it. Once again, thank you again for joining us, Thomas, and we'll send you back. Have a great rest of your evening, buddy.
You too.
Thank you. All right, that was our P3 finisher, and again, back-to-back weeks where a silver winner was on the podium. So what I like to say is 2 birds, 1 stone, right? But we are going to interview our P2 finisher, Paulie Hartman, if he is in VC. And I don't... Oh, he's in the cooldown room like last week.
He's in the cooldown room.
Yep. He's ready for us, as always, primed. Paulie Hartman, primed for an interview, chilling in the cooldown room. Welcome back, Paulie. I had a feeling this was going to happen, you know. First of all, what a banker lap in qualifying. That would have been good enough for what, P2, P3 in qualifying?
Yeah, so qualifying for me, you know, set a banker lap, was happy with that. And I knew I had more time. I set one more lap that was a little bit faster. I left a big gap in front of me, knowing that, you know, I probably should get bumped up to gold so I can be in the gold qualifying. And someone from the back wound up, you know, from the very back who went off track, decided to slot in like a second in front of me. and which I caught up to him in like 2 corners. So that was really bad on that lap. I'd caught up to him in the third sector, and I was like 4 tenths up. So it would have been like a 2:05.3 or something like that. It would have been a pretty crazy lap. Disappointed in that, but I can't be too mad because I kept it on pole. I was, sitting there, waiting, looking at the people who I knew, would be able to challenge me. I know Nico would have been able to challenge me because I saw him in practice. He was doing really well. I was watching him. I was watching Mr. Mueller and some other folks and Olhausen and getting nervous. But, I kept it on top by like, it was like 400ths or something like that. So, yeah. And, Mueller was in third place on the race start, and I think the Nissan hit the NOS or something. I swear I got a good start, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna have a good enough start. No one's gonna send it on the inside of me. Somehow Mueller goes crazy, hits the NOS, sends it right up the inside, and I lose first place. I'm like, ah, darn it. And then everyone started blinking in and out. So I kind of backed off a little bit, was confused, and just kind of tried to keep a 1 second gap. And, he, started breaking away from me a little bit. And then I was like, okay, I can put the hammer down. And I stopped streaming in the Discord and, try to, make sure that my connection was good. But it was everyone else the whole server was having the issue. And Sean Williams, my teammate, shout out Sean Williams, got disconnected. Unfortunately, came back for the points, looking at that team championship, hopefully. Everyone blinking in and out. Caught back up to Philip, even though he was still blinking in and out. I got 2 tenths off of him when he got disconnected. So it's not a good way to go at all. From first place, I feel really bad for him, so I hope to have some good battles with him next week. So a bit disappointing, but kept it out in first. Tires were feeling terrible. Pit just a little bit early, and then unfortunately, the same gentleman who backed up into me in qualifying wound up right in front of me after pits, and didn't quite understand that we weren't really racing each other, so was backing me up pretty bad, when I got by him coming onto the back straight, maybe he thought it was a good idea to bump draft me or something like that, but he wound up, almost hooking me around. I kept it together, and kind of drove away from him and saw him doing the same thing to everyone else behind. So interesting, but kept it clean, kept it cool all race. My pace was starting to slow down a little bit. I was, not feeling really confident. But then I kind of found a groove again, set the fastest lap of the race, and was just watching for Brian behind me, Brian Anderson, and trying to keep that, 5 tenths, 1 second gap. And, he was a little bit more consistent than and I guess I lost a little bit of focus, broke a little bit early, just on the hairpin before the back straight. And I hit that stupid turtle on the inside. And Brian took the opportunity and got by me, and it was kind of a desperate struggle for me to get back. But it was a brutal way to get the win ripped away from me. But I know I have it in me for next week and the rest of the season. And either way, I don't know if I would have felt like it would have been a perfect first win for me, seeing that Philip unfortunately got disconnected with the server issues. So, good and bad, but I can't argue too much about a second place, a pole, and a fastest lap. So I'm feeling good about this race, feeling good about next race. But I tell you that mistake I was shaking with anger after I crossed the finish line there. I was like, why did I do that? It was just so dumb. But I'll come back better for next race. Once again, not a whole ton of practice. This time I put in 1 hour, guys. 1 hour.
wow.
Just, get
1 hour
get my
and that
setups
time?
going.
Pretty good pace.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good this season. Something's just kind of turned on for me, clicked for me. Went back to the Ferrari, and it's always been a great car for me, and I just kind of been putting the laps down, and I'm very happy with where I'm at right now.
I think I'm worried for the rest of the division. I think I speak for Donovan and myself here. If you put in more than an hour of practice, I mean, I feel like D2 Gold is an understatement of where you'd be. D1 Silver maybe in your horizon, but
I'm feeling that maybe there's some kind of bad mojo with putting more practice in or something. So I'm just gonna keep it how it is. I feel like if I put in too much practice, I might be thinking about it too much, and then I won't be here.
Yep.
So
Countless hours. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, I'm counting those hours, and that's the hours looking at like an hour,
Counted
hour and a
hours.
half, maybe. Yeah.
Countless hours.
Limited hours.
Yeah, limited hours. But yeah, I'm happy to be up here again. This is only my third podium, and that was my first pole in a real sanctioned SRA race. So I was a little bit nervous off the start there too, because I didn't quite know what to expect, and I feel like I've heard a lot of people accidentally mess up their starts from pole and get some bad luck, but it seemed pretty straightforward to me. So. Skill issue for those guys, I guess. I don't know, but yeah.
Talk your talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a good start. I mean, they had the Nissan was just absolutely rapid off the line. I mean, I feel like it was always going to happen.
I mean, it's insane off the line. It's definitely like you said, it's like hitting the NOS compared to some other cars. I remember when I was driving it, it was like compared to like the Astons and Ferraris, it was just on another level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know that the Ferrari has a bit of a disadvantage on the start. You got to power brake it a little bit, get the turbo spooled up, and you're always going to kind of get beat a little bit off the line, but it was pretty unexpected. It's like, okay, but hey, I know what to expect for next time. Try to keep it a little bit more on the inside. And I said that too before I started. I'm like, I'm gonna put it all the way down on the inside. No one's gonna be able to squeeze by me. They're gonna have to jump the track to do it. Didn't quite work out that way. I wound up opening it up thinking I was safe, but I know for next time I haven't had too many starts from the front, so a little bit of a lesson learned for me. But yeah, hopefully I can bring that into the rest of the season and continue to make good performances. P3 and a P2. I don't want to say anything too soon, but I'm looking for a good finish to the season. So it's definitely motivated me a little bit more.
Absolutely, Paul. Well, I think you answered just about all of our questions without even asking them. So, I mean,
yeah, I'm just kind of up here yapping, okay? And I want to tell it to the world, right?
That's great. We want to hear it, yeah, and we want to hear it. So,
yeah, I mean, yeah, I just want to say fantastic job again on the pole position. I mean, I know while the servers were actually up, everyone had the fair chance of qualifying where they did. And I gotta say, when you put in that banker lap, Donna and I were both pretty
we were like,
we were dumbfounded. Not gonna lie, that was insane. But yeah, again, congratulations on the P2 and the fastest lap and the pole position. Of course, that's really solid points. And yeah, I mean, any shout outs before we send you back to the cool down room?
I want to give another shout out to my parents who dutifully watch every single race, and that they've watched since we started broadcasting in season 2. I also want to shout out everyone at Champion Motorsports, everyone that's kind of stuck with me through Champion Motorsports over the years. I guess we're coming on 3 or 4 years, 4 years now of SRA. Shout out to everyone at SRA, all the organizers, and another shout out to my teammate Sean Williams, who's been a great mentor to me, and not only in the sim but in real life. He's a fantastic guy, and I'm glad to be racing with him. And 2 more shout outs to Fire Queso, who sat with me the entire race. Even without a stream, he was still, kind of calling a couple shots from watching you guys up here. And I'd like to give a shout out to Cody Platt, who was my teammate for last season, and love the guy. And unfortunately, he decided to take a break this season. I'll joke with him that I took the anchor off the ship. But yeah, he's a great guy, and thank you for sticking with me for all these races, and hoping to get back up with you for next season.
Love it. Love the wholesome shout-outs, Paulie. Well, you're obviously a staple in this community, being with Champion Motorsports for so long, and being with SRA since season 1, I believe. So, yeah, you're finally getting the recognition you deserve on track, and it's definitely showing. So, yeah, again, congratulations on the P2. We'll send you back. Have a great evening.
Perfect. You as well. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Wholesome Paulie. Love it. I think it's about time. Yeah, I think it's about time we get the other Champion Motorsports top 3 finisher, Brian Anderson. He's probably been waiting for us. But
yeah,
so let's bring him in. Brian, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, welcome to the booth. First time this season, and gotta say, I'm seeing signs of your old D2 winning self. I can say. So welcome.
Got the 1 win, so
one win.
That's the second one now.
Yep. Exactly. So, welcome back to not only the podium, but the top step of the podium. Talk us through the last couple laps of the race, because I imagine both you and Paulie were in the same VC, or at least, I guess, in close proximity in the Discord.
We were not. No, I mean, we're both in CM, but I share a VC with Curtis, DJ, and Matt. We're kind of like a 4-car team this season, so we kind of hang out. Yeah. Love of Lambos, but yeah, I mean, I can imagine. Paul was keeping up the pace. He wasn't making any mistakes. He was getting great exits on the straight every single time. I was getting poor ones. So, yeah, I mean, I was just sticking with him, hoping for a mistake, and it finally came on the second and last lap, I think, and I took advantage of it. Sad to see he did so good though, both quali and race. So that was super fun.
Absolutely, it was definitely fun for us, even with the disconnects. So I do. Were you at all nervous about the disconnects? I know that Mueller had a disconnect, and I know Paulie was telling us that he was he didn't want to win this way, or make up a position. So were you at all nervous about that?
I mean, I probably wasn't as nervous as Paulie, because Paulie was the one catching him, and having to think about what am I going to do when I do catch him. Do I race him? Do I not race him? So that never really became a problem for me, because he was far enough away for long enough until he, I guess, finally completely disconnected, which is honestly really sad to see. I mean, same sentiment. I hate to win this way. It's sad so many people got disconnected. I was thinking the race was gonna, get stopped or something, but I just kept driving. So yeah, sad to see. But I'll take the win. We'll see if the points count in the end. We'll see how they handle it.
I'll take the win, he says. Yeah, dude, you drove a mega race. I mean, you were close to Paulie, at least for the second stint. So I imagine following and just stalking your prey almost until the very last lap. I mean, it takes 2 to tango, right? Obviously, he had a slight mistake, and you were able to capitalize on it. But it also meant that you had to not put a single foot wrong. Especially at a track like Cota, where it's like a race of attrition, right? You don't want to get outside the track limits, and just keeping on track while having a car ahead is already difficult enough. So, I mean, there's nothing that can take away this win in terms of just on merit. It was a fantastic result for you as like racing on track. So, I mean, incredible.
Yeah, it was super fun, and yeah, I was definitely sweating, just trying to stick with him and not make a mistake and not get the track limits. So I'm happy with the one cut I had. Pretty happy with that.
One cut is impressive. I gotta say, D2 had a lot less track limit penalties than D1 did. So
yeah, there's only a couple. I mean, yeah, it wasn't too bad.
I do want to ask. I believe I wanted to ask. Oh God, no, what was I gonna say? I forget. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you feel? I remembered. How do you feel about Valencia? Because Valencia is going to be next track. It's more going to be hot lapping temps. So you got like 22, 29 Celsius. A little bit easier on the tires than Cota. A little bit easier to kind of manage the track limits. The lines are more defined. How do you feel about Valencia next week?
I honestly love driving Valencia, both race and quali. So I'll enjoy it whether I do well or not. It's just a fun track to drive, and I feel pretty comfortable there.
Good stuff. Well,
I haven't driven it in a Lambo for a while, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Lambo. You showed the Lambo to be pretty fast, and Matt did the same last week. So I believe you guys are. Yeah, you're on the same team. So I guess you're making quite a strong case for the team championship this season.
Yep. 2 races down, looking good.
Yep. Without Josh Damiani as your usual partner in crime, but hey, Matt Higgs just as good.
Yeah, I mean, Josh decided to take the season off for the first time, and I mean, we've been racing together since I joined. I think I joined season 3, and he's been here since season 0, basically. So sad to see Josh isn't here. But,
up until the last 2 races, he had done every single Team Series race, hadn't he?
Yep.
I think so.
He had a perfect record.
It's a rare absence.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Paul is going to overtake him in most races participated in SRA this season.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he will. He will this season.
Or at least tie him.
As long as Paulie just shows up.
As long as Paulie shows up. As long as we don't have any more disconnects.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, again, congratulations on the win. Any shouts before we send you back to the debrief?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to my teammate Matt, my longtime endurance teammate Curtis, who we're kind of teaming up, like I said. Champion Motorsports and Madhouse, I'm part of both now, so it's all been a good support.
Nice. Well,
thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. Of course, providing some entertainment for the folks at home. After a tough broadcast session for us, I had to manually go through every single car. At one point, I was parodying Bohemian Rhapsody and changed it to a topic about ACC servers.
It was a tough. The servers definitely did not make it easy for anybody tonight.
Yeah,
thank you all for
everyone who. Yeah, thank you everyone who broadcasts and comments. It's much appreciated. I love watching the races back. So thank you.
All right, Brian. Well, again, congrats on the win, Donna. You got any questions for Brian?
No, just congratulations and yeah, good work with the challenging race tonight.
Yep, thanks, Donovan.
All right, have a good night, man. See you.
Take care, you too.
All right, that's our podium, ladies and gentlemen. So that was Brian Anderson. We also had Paulie Hartman, Champion Motorsports 1-2, and we also had Thomas Oldhausen round out the podium position. So quick look at again the season calendar for the rest of the season. We have Valencia next week, Circuit Ricardo Tormo. I hope a little bit less issue with the servers, which I imagine will probably be the case. This is probably one of the more rare occurrences with these SRA races that we have. Both D2 and D4 had issues, but alas, we still had a race. It still went on. The show must go on. That's also another Queen song. Good one. But yeah, Donovan, looking forward to Valencia next week, another track where track limits are a bit, scary, but I think Valencia is pretty awesome for racing. So excited.
I love Valencia. I think it's an underrated track, personally.
You really think it's underrated? I think it's fairly rated, to be honest. A lot of people love it.
No, because I think it's one of my favorite tracks. I hear a lot of people don't love it. And I mean, it's not quite as disliked as like Cota. But I mean, I definitely maybe I just am sensitive to it because I think it's such a good track. It was the first track I ever won at, and I personally think it's just a fantastic track. So I'm looking forward to it.
You're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, and I imagine the rest of the commentary team is looking forward to it, and along with the chat. So, yeah, I hope there's going to be less disconnects. I hope that Mueller can get his revenge after such a commanding start to the race. I mean, just rather unfortunate for not just Philip, but the rest of the grid and the rest of the community. So, yeah, I mean, hoping on some less problems on that regard for next week. But yeah, boys and girls, if you enjoyed the stream this week, please do give us a follow on Twitch, and we are streaming to both YouTube and Twitch this week and for the remainder of the season. So, boys and girls on YouTube, did enjoy the stream, leave a like, do subscribe if you want to see more races. We also do Race Division 4 on Wednesdays at the same time, just on YouTube, not on Twitch, as we can only stream one stream on Twitch and multiple on YouTube. So we also do host Division 1, 3, and 5 on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock Eastern at the same time as this one. Once again, thank you so much for joining us this week. Donovan, any closing remarks for everybody back home?
No, thanks for hanging out with us and dealing with our technical difficulties for a challenging race.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a pleasure having you here as always. So back-to-back seasons where we're together in the booth. D4 was the time, but D2 was just as good. So, yep. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and have a great evening.